Yes, students, welcome back to the class. Today I am going to announce my M series. M series is going to purely dedicated for my SAP MM module. In this series, we are going to cover all the topics in detail. There might be a chance my episodes will be quite lengthy, but it is quite recommended, suggested to stay tuned with all the episodes throughout the video so that you will have fair understanding about the topics which we are covering in that particular episode. Okay, so with that, let me start today the M series with first episode. This is going to be purely theoretical, where you will be understanding what exactly MM is and what is the key role of SAP MM in real-time scenarios or real-time organizations. Okay, so if you read the first paragraph, so ERP section that helps organization with material management, inventory management and warehouse management in the core supply chain process. So this is the definition you can grab in your mind. SAP MM, the material management is the big helping hand for the organization to manage the material management, to manage the inventory and to manage the warehouse stuff. And this is going to be one of the core helping hand for the supply chain process. And the reason behind this statement, SAP MM always ensure availability of goods as and when needed to the customer. That wholesale confirmation commitment given by material management team only. And why they are giving this statement? Because they are closely working with the inventory management, they are closely working with the warehouse team, and they are closely working with the procurements, etc. Okay, so there are 3 or 4 components here. I'll start with the master data, purchasing, MRP and inventory. So I have populated one visualization for you so that you can easily understand what different those components are and what kind of different sub-components are associated with the main components. Okay, so if you flag first purchasing, so it is absolutely clear from the name itself, but again from the sub-component standpoint you can see there are few sub-components like LIV, logistic invoice verification, then we have RFQ, request for quotation, then we have purchase requisition, then we have purchase order. So this is the segment of purchasing. On the right hand side, if you see, this is going to be for the inventory, where we have physical inventory plus inventory management. Both the stuff comes under inventory. At the third state, I can see the master data. Master data is the key, the component of SAP MM, where we are going to cover, the couple of factors which get updated centrally in order to ensure all the transactions can be executed as per the business process. Now, if you see the few examples here, so vendor master data, material master data, purchase info record, etc. all these sub-components falls under master data component. Okay. Then at the fourth state we have MRP. MRP stand material resource planning. So generally every organization have the minimum stock norms for every SKU. If that norms is if the stock is getting lesser than that particular minimum norms, then system will trigger MRP automatically. And with that particular trigger, there will be a purchase requisition into the system, and then we can start the the standard process by following PR to PO, then doing the GR, then doing the invoice verification, etc. So this is the fourth component, the MRP. Generally we say it is consumption based planning. Okay. So I am coming to the next, SAP MM master data. Since we are working in R3 system, and R3 system always work in real time, where where there is no lag in between data entry and data availability. What does it mean? It means the moment you make some changes into the system will process that information immediately without any lag, and that information will be available for your for the further process or for the next steps. In the R3 system, we have, in a SAP R3 data have 2 different categories. One is master data, another one is transaction data. So we have 2 different categories, master data and transaction data. So what is master data? Master data created centrally, being used in all the application, like vendor master data used for POs and contracts. So these kind of the data which is being managed centrally, that is my master data in SAP Material Management. The transactional data which I am using to execute the transactions, right, with the reference to the master data, that is my transactional data. Okay. Few examples for the master data here: vendor master data, material master data, pricing conditions master data, warehouse bin master data, purchase info reports, etc. Okay. So in short summary, in R3 system there is no lag. The moment you enter the data will be available immediately. In R3 system, data have been divided into two categories: master data and transactional data. For master data, where we have stored the data in the centrally so that we can use that particular data for the transactions. If I'll talk about the dedicated transaction, so it is associated with the business processes. Few examples: vendor master data, material master data, pricing or condition master data, warehouse bin master data, and purchase info reports are the key example of SAP MM master data. Okay. So there are too many data, but try to explore and try to digest this information, because this is going to be one of the key critical question during the interview. So with that, let me move to my next step. So next is material master. What is material master? So generally we have few different types of materials which we are using in our day-to-day operation. Few of them listed below for your quick reference, like FERT. FERT always indicate finished product. Then we have HALB, which is semi-finished product. Then we have HAWA, that is trading goods. ROH, raw material. And why we are having different types? The simple answer is to originate the use of the material. If that the raw material is there, then definitely I'll be using that material for my production in order to get the finished or semi-finished product. If I'm using HALB, which is semi-finished, that means I'm going to use that material in order to convert that particular material into the finished product, right? Trading goods for the resellable goods, right? So these are the exact meaning behind the purpose to having multiple or the different types of material into the system. Even we do have one transaction MM60 where we can see the complete available list of the materials in the system along with their types as well. So maybe you can use MM60 in your system and you will be able to see the list of materials and their types as well. If somebody asks you how to create the different material types, so path is available on your screen. So you need to go to the SPRO, then go to the implementation guide, then logistic general, material master, basic data, material type, then define the attributes of material types. Plus there will be few more steps like to create the number range series, then make the assignments, etc. Maybe in future I'll be recording one more video dedicated to this particular point, how we can create the different types of material in SAP. Okay, so this is my material master. Now coming to the purchasing. For purchasing, I have given 9 boxes in order to ensure that you can get the right information in first row. Okay, so let's start with the MRP. Since we know what is MRP, so if my stock is getting lesser than the minimum norm, there will be a MRP trigger and I'll be having purchase requisition in my SAP ECC system, right? So for example, MRP has done the job. Now system has created purchase requisition. At the moment we receive the purchase requisition, then the next step would be system will release that particular purchase requisition to assign the source to that particular PR. Then we need to release the purchase requisition. At the 5th state, we need to convert PR to PO. Then we need to do the good receipt, then the invoice receipt, process the invoice receipt, and then we can view some tables whether data has been populated or not. Okay. Now this job can be done manually, or we can done it through the automatic way as well. In practical scenarios, things are working automatically because it is something where accuracy need to be there, and only automatic or the batch jobs or the automatic jobs can ensure that everything is working as per the configuration which we have done into the SAP system. Okay, so in short summary, MRP trigger, then we got the PR, then we have done the assignment of source with the PR, then we release the PR, then we have converted PR to PO, then the good receipt, we have completed the invoice receipt, Then the process has been initiated for the invoice receipt, and at finally we can see the tables where data has been populated or not, that can be seen into the tables. Okay, so this is my purchasing. Then the inventory management, no doubt, inventory management is one of the biggest subjects. So in my today's video, I am just going to give you one single liner information about the inventory management. But going forward in upcoming episodes, I will be covering inventory management in full detail. So it is being used to manage the inventory of the goods. It has few processes like confirmations, goods issue, good receipt, and movement types. Okay, there are some confirmations, then we can make the GI, we can do the GR, then the different types of movement types. Okay, so I'll be covering inventory management in detail in my upcoming episodes. So till the time, please keep this definition in your mind so that you will be able to make the connection very easily once we start that particular topic. Okay. So the next is very key, the topic SAP MM organizational structure. So what exactly organizational structure is there in SAP MM? And this is, one of the frequent question asked by the interviewer during the interview time. So the answer is on your screen in very easy language. Organization structure is the framework of a company according to which business is conducted in every company. Organization structure consists of many levels having direct or indirect relationship with one another. Organization structure is also referred as a enterprise structure. Now if I scroll it down a bit, you will be able to see at the top I have client. Now just rethink about the enterprise structure which we have completed in my previous videos. So clients, then we have created the company. Under company we can have multiple plants. Okay, so the answer, one plant can have only one company, but one company can have multiple plants. This is going to be another interview question. Please keep this point in mind. Can we assign multiple companies with one plant? Okay, or can one plant have multiple companies? There will be, the logical question. So please try to understand this image, which will answer your all the questions here. Okay. So under client, we have one company. Under one company, we can create multiple plants. Then one plant can have multiple storage locations. Then the particular storage location, have multiple purchasing organization. One purchasing organization can have multiple purchasing groups. Now, one company code can be assigned with the multiple plants. That's okay. But one plant can have only one company code. One plant can be assigned with the multiple storage locations, but one storage location always have one plant only. Okay. Again, the purchasing organization, one storage location can be assigned with the multiple purchasing organization. On the other hand, one purchasing organization cannot be assigned, with the multiple storage locations. So this is how you need to understand the flow of the information. So if somebody asks the question, then you should be very confident and you will be answering that question like we have organizational structure like client, company code, plant, storage location, purchasing organization and purchasing group. Okay. So let me give you a few more, let's discuss these, the pointers in bit more detail. So I'll start with the client. According to the hierarchy, or I can say according to the flow diagram of this, the organization structure, client always sit at the top location. Okay, so client is always at the top location. It has own set of master data. It is commercially, commercial organizational unit in R3 system. Data maintained at the client level is applicable for all the organizational structures. So if I'll maintain something here, that will be automatically applicable for rest of the components. Company. What is company code? Within the client, company code is an independent accounting unit, legal entity that has its own profit, loss and balance statement. So if somebody asks the question, what is company code? The answer is there right on your screen. Okay. Single liner answer would always help to you in order to crack the interview. Okay. What is plant? Plant is an organizational unit within a company where activities take place. For example, if you are doing manufacturing, your manufacturing will be happening at the plant. If you are providing the services, then again you are providing that services through the plant only or at the plant. Okay. A plant will produce goods and makes goods available for the company. It subdivides an enterprise structure in different aspects. So this is the quick definition for the plant. The storage location now. Storage location is an organizational unit which actually differentiates between different material stocks in a plant. Okay. Storage location is a place where stock is kept physically. One plant can consist of multiple storage locations. I think the third point we have already covered, but it is there so that you can grab the information. Okay. So I hope client, company code, plant, storage location is crystal clear now. Okay. The next is purchasing organization. Purchasing organization is an organizational unit under a company or under a plant that is responsible for the procurement activities according to the requirement. It is responsible for the external procurement. Okay. So this is the definition of purchasing requisitions, purchasing organization. Now, if purchasing organization has been created at client level, that is my centralized purchasing organization. If I have created purchasing organization at company level, then that is company specific. Or if purchasing organization has been created or assigned at the plant level, then that is my plant specific purchasing organization. So during the interview, maybe you can give the answer for the purchasing organization. If you make the add-on of these 3 more lines, then definitely that will be good impression on the next person. Okay. So please try to understand the system. I am giving single liner definitions. I am not creating that 5 or 6 liner of definition. My aim is you should understand the concept, you should understand the subject or the topic. Rest of the thing I know you can manage from your side. Okay. So this is my purchasing organization. The last point but not least, the purchasing group. What is purchasing group? So it is group of buyer responsible for the procurement activities in the purchasing organization. Since we know purchasing group has been created under purchasing organization, so the purchasing group is the group of people or group of buyers responsible for the procurement activities in a purchasing organization. It is also responsible for everyday procurement activities within an organization. So this is my purchasing group. Single liner definitions. It is going to be very easy for your understanding. Okay. With that, let me move to my next. So from the next step standpoint, let's start SAP Material Management in system with the creation of material. So in my next video, I am going to create one material over the video so that you can also do the same practice at your home. And it might be possible my videos are getting the lengthy now, but I am sure this is going to be more useful for you. So stay tuned with me till the last of every video, every episode, so that you can get the exact information and you can do the similar kind of practice at your home. Okay. With that, thank you so much for listening me, and do the practice. In case if you have any kind of question, please try to send that question over the email to me, or maybe you can also use the chat section. I'll try my level best to answer that question. With that, thank you so much. Take care and bye bye.